Welcome back to Jasmin's Asylum, and as I promised, I've delivered the goods. We have an interview today with Stig of Slegest. Did I say it right? Slegest?
Yeah, right.
What does that mean?
It's a form of the word to fight, actually, in Norwegian.
Okay, so it's to fight. Where did you come up with that name?
I think it sounded good when I started the project. It didn't have a name, and I'd been thinking about that for a while, and I just went for it. I think it sounded good.
Interesting. So you guys have an album coming out on November 16th called Introvert on Dark Essence Records.
Yes, that's right.
And it's a really good album, by the way. I listened to it. It's very different than what you'd expect. It sort of has very rock and roll doom metal tunes to it, or a tone. Is that correct? What made you come up with that specific sound?
It evolved naturally, I would say. It's Slegest started as a solo project back in 2010, and I grew up listening to bands like Twisted Sister, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, and such. And it was when I make my own music, those things seem to surface here and there. So I definitely agree in how you see the music. And thank you for your words, by the way. The first reactions I've heard on the album so far. I haven't read any reviews or anything, so it's pretty fresh out there for the journalists. So cool to hear that you like it.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people downloaded it yet because it's not due out for a couple of months. But I like to get on this stuff as soon as possible, especially with foreign releases and so forth. So tell us a little bit about you. What part of Norway are you from? And have you ever been inspired by anything in black metal? And I'll ask you why after, because you said the first thing you did was a solo project.
Yeah. I am from the western part of Norway, a small place called Leikanger.
Right.
It's it's a little place, big mountains surrounding, a very nice nature and such. So I've lived here for pretty much my whole life. I had 7 years in Oslo, but other than that, I've been living here.
Okay. And I wanted to ask you, you said that the very first thing you did was a solo project. Was that inspired on your own, or you didn't have bandmates, or perhaps maybe it might have been inspired by Burzum?
No, it wasn't the first thing I did, but with Slegest started out as a solo project, and it was. I wanted to do something on my own, and I had these ideas. What actually happened was I found an old tape recorder I'd been lying around with some old stuff, actually, and listening to that, the idea came to what eventually became Slegest. But you're right. There's not many people around here that plays music, so it was naturally that way also. But in the start, it was also something I wanted to do something all by myself, and could decide everything and such. And then it evolved, and we started to play live, and now we're a full band. So yeah.
Now you also work with Grutel Kelsen from Enslaved at one point, and what was that like working with him?
Oh, it's very good. He's a good friend, and we used to tour a lot with Enslaved when I played in Pride, so we know each other, and I'm a really big fan of Enslaved also. So just asked him when we did the second album, wanted to do a track, and he did, and it was amazing. He did a good job as always.
Now, on the new album, okay, so all of your tracks are Norwegian. I read some Norwegian still. I'm just very lazy because I'm back in the shitty United States. But do you think it might limit your fan base to some degree? If this album were to be released in the States, do you think it might be an issue for your sales? Or do you think there might be as many fucked up people like me who think it's really beautiful and exotic?
I don't know.
It is exotic.
That much about those things. When I make things, I just do what feels naturally. And for the last years, my music has felt natural to do in Norwegian. That doesn't mean that I won't do anything in English in the future. The first album had some English lyrics, and that could work as well. But I never think like that on it. I just I make music that feels, that I feel something around, and then it comes naturally if it should be English or Norwegian. In that case, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I do. And yeah, I do to some degree. And I see, okay, so I'm looking at the track list. I already played about 3 of the songs off of this on my show so far. Out of these tracks, what are you drinking, by the way, at this hour? Are you drinking alcohol already?
Yeah, I'm actually having a beer I made myself.
You make beer?
Yeah.
Tell me about this. How do you make? Is this something you do all the time?
Yeah, or not all the time, but I do it as often I can. This was a lager, a light lager. I like those very good. And it's with beer like with music. If you fuck up, you can't complain to anyone but yourself.
Oh, so you don't actually sell this beer anywhere? Like you don't?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
so,
good.
but this one was good though.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, you'll have to make me one day. I'll have to try it. See, maybe this will be a whole thing, like a Slegest bear. So as soon as you're done drinking one, you want to get into a fight and fuck someone up.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, and by the way, I saw your photos. You don't look like someone who gets into fights very much. I just want to tell you that. So, yeah, which is good. So let's say out of these tracks that you have on the newest album called Introvert on Dark Essence Records, what would you say is one of your most memorable songs that you recorded?
No, this, I think there's many tracks that I like. The cool thing with this album is also that it's the first time we've made or other band members also make music.
Oh.
So there's a track here where the guitarist, Sir, has made one of them, and Håvard, the bassist, has also made one of them. So I like those two very good. That is Leitar and De Brenniglåsi.
Leitar. Okay.
And I like I don't know, it's I like the opener.
Blodet varm genom meg.
Yeah, I like that one, and also the other single you released. I like it.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
You don't know? You like all of them. So if you had to pick 3 of your favorite tracks, perhaps Leitar, Blodet varma genom meg, and what's the other one? Det Brenniglåsi? Glossy?
Yeah. I can't hear you that good right now.
Okay.
Check here. One moment.
Okay.
What did you ask again? My 3 favorite tracks.
Okay, so
from,
with your free... Okay, let me just go ahead and... I'm going to cut this off and just take it from the top again. Hold on. So, Stig, don't be sorry. Look, if you weren't Norwegian and you didn't sound so incredibly sexy on the phone, I would tell you to go fuck yourself. And please don't accuse me of sexual harassment, whatever you do. Okay. So, okay, you didn't need... Okay, so out of the 3 tracks on Introvert by Slegest, would you say your 3 favorite tracks would be Leitar, Blodet varm genom meg, and Det Brenniglåsi? Did I even say this shit right? I hope I did.
My 3 favorite tracks from the album. We should pick 3 tracks that I like. Good, I would say Blodet varma genom meg.
Mm-hmm.
Undergangens tankesmed.
Yep.
And De Brenniglåsi.
De Brenniglåsi. So,
yeah.
If we wanted you to translate those 3 tracks for my listeners, what would they mean? Blodet varma, yeah.
Blodet varma genom meg would mean the warmth of the blood through me.
Okay, and
or something like that. This is the difficult thing, to translate directly. It probably will be very, very funny. But Undergangens tankesmed is something like the thought patterns that brings you down, or something. Maybe it sounds a lot cooler than it sounds pretty emo on on English, but it has a certain punch in Norwegian. Undergangens tankesmed. The last one is De Brenniglåsi is there is light in the I'm not quite sure how to translate that, actually. I'm sorry.
It's okay. All right. Well, regardless, they just sound great, and everyone should be listening to these. So let's go ahead and listen to Stig's 3 favorite tracks off of Introvert by Slegest, and we'll be right back. And we're back. That was just Slegest with 3 tracks off of their latest album, Introvert, from Dark Essence Records in Norway. What's it like working with Martin? I mean, I've met him a few times. What is Dark Essence Records like? It seems like it's more popular there, one of the more popular labels.
Yeah, I like them very much, both the label and the guys working there. It's just good vibe, and they do good work for us. So I like them both as friends, and to work with them, collaborate with them.
And I'm not sure how old you are. I'm not going to ask you or anything like that. But were you around during the whole Lords of Chaos era when all of that stuff was going on?
No, I didn't discover it until a bit later, actually. I was around. I'm born in 78.
Oh.
But I did listen to black metal for some years after I heard the Ulver Bergtatt album, and also Vinder was making music, during this. So I heard that, but I wasn't into it before for some years after.
Yeah.
Middle of the 90s.
The movie came out last night. There was a premiere, and Jonas Åkerlund was there. And I guess very many people in the music business in Norway have different opinions of the whole movie being made. Do you have any type of opinion on that film being made?
No, I think it's been a dozen of documentaries, so I guess the movie was bound to happen one time or another. I haven't seen anything from it, but I will see it when I get the opportunity. But I wait and see. I will do an opinion when I've seen it.
Yeah, I think the only thing I really liked about it was that it was obviously shot in Norway, and that's one of the best places in the whole entire world. For those of you listening, Inferno Festival is one of the best festivals ever. Unfortunately, there's no more Hole in the Sky, but yeah, so it's worth going there. So what are your plans as far as touring? I see that you have some European tours coming up, and do you have any plans on leaving Norway and ever coming to the States or South America or something?
Would love to do that. So we have to get them to book us,
Yes. I know. It's like the same bands over and over. So hopefully maybe you come out on tour with like Enslaved or something like that.
That would be perfect. But we're going on tour now, starting in October. We're going with Tåke and Bölster and One Tail One Head.
Okay.
We do, I think it's 10 shows or something. And then we have 4 dates in Norway with Ein Herjer in November. And we're going on another tour with Vride and Kalma in December.
Okay, now if you go with Vride, do you play with Vride as well or no?
No,
okay.
No, I don't.
Okay.
So I used to, but no. But it will be fun to tour with them again now.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, do you have a regular job, or is this what you do full time? Or do you work in a brewery? Do you make beer for a living?
No, I don't. I have a part-time job at an office, and so it's I work at the office daytime, and and music.
Do you work with computers?
Yeah, I work with computers, but office work.
Oh, okay. Because I've noticed like most metalheads are nerds, which is good. So, I thought I had a feeling you work with computers, which is awesome. So, if you have any messages for your fans, what would they be besides to follow you and buy the record?
Feed your inner demons, chase your dreams.
Yeah, totally chase your dreams, feed your inner demons, do whatever the hell you want to, piss off whoever you want to and have to. Who cares? So don't forget to pick up Slegest. The album is called Introvert. It's out the 16th of November on Dark Essence Records, which is darkessencerecords.no. And if you'd like to follow Slegest, they're facebook.com/SLEGEST Slegest, yeah, Slegest. I can't even spell that. And do you guys have any other social media or websites that people could learn more about you?
Yeah, we have the usuals. We have Facebook, Instagram, and also the slegest.no.
Cool. Well, I hope that we see you guys in the States. And yeah, don't forget to pick up the album November 16th on darkessencerecords.no. Thank you so much, Stig, and hopefully we see you in the States.
Thank you. We'd love to come. Thank you so much for having me.